everyone, my name is PolishLynx. We are back with Everlasting Summer. After something that, well, I couldn't predict at all, and I think no one would, actually. But let's continue with what happened to Slavia, probably. If you don't know what happened, check the previous video. We'll continue with the story from now on. I look back and saw Lena. Oh, I didn't want to scare you. It's okay. Can I sit here? Yes, sit down, please. She fixed her skirt with a neat move, sat down and started staring at the sunset. How sad this all is. Yeah, not much to rejoice about. What do you think? Who could have done that? How should I know? Certainly not me. No, it's not I suspect you or anything. She began waving her hands in a funny manner. Well, thanks for that. I smirked sadly. But that must have been done by a very cruel, very evil person. Well, not necessarily. Lana glanced at me in confusion. Maybe it was one of delusion. After all, in everyday life, maniacs can be the nicest of people. So, you are saying that? Her eyes widened and her jaw dropped a little. But it would have been done by any one of us? Well, I'm not asserting that's for sure, but the circle of suspects is quite large. No, none of the children could do that. No one. Anyway, it's up to the police to deal with it. We spent some more time sitting in silence. I was about to leave when Lena suddenly whispered. Or could you? What? A natural grin appeared on her face. A devil's grin, so I thought. Could you have murdered Slavia? Of course not. But you two didn't get along very well. Why do you think so? We were getting along just fine. It suddenly became clear that Lena, most likely, is not talking about me. More precisely, not the me from yesterday. And not the Slavia whose name is Sasha. I was sure about that. No, it wasn't me. Okay, relax, I'm not accusing you. She gave me a look, and for a second her eyes seemed red to me. Maybe it was just a reflection of the sunset. I'm glad you got everything right. But it was you who said that everyone is worth suspecting. I didn't tell you to suspect everyone. I meant that we don't know who the criminal is. Yet. Oh, I see. Well, I hope I don't become the next victim. Lena said loudly and burst out laughing. The way she did it gave me the creeps. Okay, it's time to go. She got up and swiftly left the square. I chose not to linger and headed to Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. It was now completely dark. Masha was still sleeping, so I decided not to wake her and quietly climbed in next to her. Our director, or the camp leader as the local residents kept referring to her, was still nowhere to be seen. If she enters now, it will all get very uncomfortable. Well, it might, at the very least. Anyway, who cares? A person has been murdered. It's not the time for such trifles. And anyway, we still have to find out what's going on. Why does everyone keep acting like they are no pioneers? It seems to me that until it becomes clear who the real criminal is, this whole ridiculous carnival won't stop. The real question was, what is the cause and what is the effect? Either everyone keeps pretending because Slavia was murdered. I still couldn't accept that Sasha was the victim, so I've kept telling myself that it was indeed Slavia, or Slavia was killed because everyone keeps pretending. Damn it, I got lost entirely, and such brainstorming is not going to get me anywhere. The door creaked faintly. Cautiously, I rose on my elbows a bit and peered into the darkness. A few torturous moments passed, but ultimately no one came in. Well, I guess it's no use to just lie down and wait. Right now it's probably just the wind blowing or something like that, but this late at night, when everyone is asleep. I stood up, grabbed my trousers and, in the dark, looked around. It was hardly probable that I might find something that could be used as a means of self-defense here. But I at least had to give it a try. Rummaging through the cabin's contents, I stumbled upon a locked drawer inside the cabinet. Sure, I'd have to find a gun, or at least some kind of heavy crowbar there. However, I totally understood that I really shouldn't hold my breath for one. But it had to be locked for a reason. I pushed the cabinet from the wall, estimated where exactly on the back side the drawer was, and gave it a sharp and precise, so I would not wake mash up, kick with my leg. The plywood cracked, and something spilled from the drawer. Underwear. More underwear. Matches. They might just come in handy. I shoved the matchbox into my pocket, and at the same moment I heard some strange noise from the outside the door, as if some wild animal was scratching on it. Surely, if that is the real criminal, I won't stand a chance against him. But one shouldn't shrug off the possibility that it was the work of a local pioneer, who may have gone crazy or who was just insane from the start. You think it is Shriek? Anyway, I should be still able to knock out any of the local residents. Maybe it is Shriek. Because first, we were in the mine, and he kind of fell asleep, and we woke up as an actor, and then after again falling asleep and waking up, we woke up here. But if Slavia was in the forest, killed in the forest, that means it was before going to the mine. God damn it, what the fuck is happening? Even if he came at me with a knife. Thinking about a weapon gave me the creeps. No, I shouldn't be so overconfident. If I get into an encounter with someone who is, for example, armed with a knife, then I must shut the door, barricade all entrances and wait for help. You probably couldn't get hold of a firearm here. Over? The door creaked once more and opened up about an inch. I closed my eyes for a second and violently pulled it open, gathering all my strength. I heard a choked scream and saw Alisa spread-eagled on the doorstep. Oh, it's just you. I heaved a sigh of relief. Don't scare people like that. Want me to give me a heart attack? She got up, dusted her clothes off slowly and glanced at me guiltily. I'm sorry. It's fine. It could be dangerous to walk alone in the camp during the night. What with all the stuff that's happening? I stopped short. Happening implies an ongoing process. As if something was still going to happen. I mean, happened. That's why I came. Isa was looking at the ground and trembling slightly. It's already late, but Uliana is still nowhere to be seen. She raised her eyes to me, and I saw tears running down her cheeks. Where could she have gone? It wasn't like I was really concerned, but I asked because I felt that I had to calm the situation. It was perfectly clear that there is absolutely nothing to do in this camp at night. If there's electricity available, then everyone watches movies on their laptops. If not, then they just read books by candlelight. Wandering under the moon shouldn't be on that list. I don't know. Okay, let's think through it without any fuse. I walked over to the table and picked up the clock. It's midnight. Sure, everyone should be already at their cabins by this time. A scary thought suddenly flashed through my mind. Where's Olga Dmitrievna? Let's go outside and talk to her. Don't want us to make Miku. As we went out, I took a place by the stairs and started to think. Alisa stood beside me, wringing her hands with a pained look on her face as she watched the full moon rise. We have to call the police. We've already called them. But back then it was on Slavia, and now it's also Uliana. And Olga Dmitrievna, have you seen her? No, but what is she to? Alisa burst into tears. We still don't know anything, but nevertheless, it's clear that something is going on here. Even if we are not just pretending to be pioneers, and something really has happened to the world, right now I could have quite a good chance of departing from it without getting any answers for my questions. So I have to focus on survival. Survival. The word hit like a sharp pain to the back of the head. Survival. Just yesterday I didn't need to give the slightest consideration to anything like that. The quiet summer night was ringing over everything around us. Not a breath of wind, not a rustle of grass, or a whisper of moving leaves could be heard. Nothing. Just the reflection of the moonlight in the cabin's windows, sparse clouds up in the sky, and yet impenetrable darkness all around. They say that when you gaze into the abyss also gazes into you. And the grasshoppers. These dang critters are pulling a double shift of DJing. As if they're constantly on duty. As the day shift winds up, the night shift, who got enough sleep begins. Then the night ones knock off and I have to find some insecticide after all. At least I can wipe out a couple of divisions. With any luck that would get me some quiet living space around this cabin. Sure, I can destroy them all. What the heck, there are probably more of them than there are humans in the entire world. Can you hear it? Alisa sat down and huddled up against me. Her entire body was trembling. What? I straightened my ears. It seemed that somebody was slowly walking down the path to our cabin. I couldn't make anything out in the dark, but the steps grew more and more audible with every second. Okay, don't sweat it. He won't dare to attack the two of us. Although I wasn't really sure about that. My hands instinctively started to search for something I could use to defend myself. Hey! Sorry. Soon enough I found a piece of water pipe underneath the bench. It's not much help, of course. It's way too thick and uncomfortable to wield properly, but it's still better than going out empty-handed. The mere sight of this monstrosity would make anyone pee themselves. Most likely from laughter. There's nothing I can do. We're as good as sitting ducks here, so I'd rather move out towards the enemy. I couldn't say that I was bursting with courage and valor. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I was really freaking out. It just seemed that I had no other choice. I took a deep breath and slowly headed into the darkness. Soon enough I could make out more features of the stranger's silhouette. Not very tall, weird hairstyle, scared. Thought ought to be Lena. I lowered my guard. What are you doing here this late at night? Hey! Lena's face was stained with tears. Come on. I led her to Alisa. As Lena was going back to her senses, she tried to explain what happened. I was just sitting alone and it's already quite late but Miko's still missing yet. And what happened to Slavia and I still just couldn't reconcile this image of Lena, a sobbing girl sitting in front of me, with the one that I saw at the square a few hours ago, with the grin of the devil and hellish flames in her eyes. Maybe it was just my imagination. Or maybe not. By any chance, do you know where Uliana and Olga Dmitrievna are? She raised her surprised eyes to me. No, why? Are they also missing? Well, so far we can't be sure. Semyon? At first I didn't realize that she was addressing me. Huh? Don't you think that it's way too quiet in the camp? It's night. Everyone's sleeping, aren't they? I strained my ears. Indeed, there were no sounds besides these damned graspers. I mean, no sounds whatsoever. What is this place usually like? Quiet, whispered Lena. Quiet, but not this quiet. I couldn't let girls fall into panic, although I was starting to freak out myself. Yet there were a lot of reasons to humans disappearing into thin air, horrible murders, friends that pretend to be the pioneers until the very end. I was ready to lose it. Okay, let's think rationally. The girls gave me a few questioning looks. People can't just disappear without a trace. That means? Nope, it doesn't mean anything. Suddenly we heard a rustle in the bushes behind the cabin. Before I could even grab my pipe, Router emerged from the darkness. Ah, here we are! He didn't seem to be all that concerned about all this stuff happening around. Oh lord, just stop jumping after people like that. The girls are gonna have a heart attack at this rate. Although I wasn't sure who was more frightened, them or me. Yeah, I apologize. Why have you come? Have you seen Shurik? Oh, for fuck's sake! He's in the mine! Go look for him. We haven't. It looks like half of the camp just appeared in a few hours. Plus, it's too quiet around here. We noticed that already. There's no light anywhere. Dead silence. Don't you start whipping up the tension here. I feel sick already. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. He flashed a miserable smile that gave me the creeps. Okay, you stay here and I'm gonna scout around the camp. Alone? Yeah, that probably wasn't exactly the brightest idea. I had to think first and speak. I'll go with you. Okay, then you just stay here. And don't forget that Miku is still sleeping in the cabin. Sir, yes sir! What a dork. If he gave me that dopey smile in any other situation. About half an hour later, our search brought us to the square. All the cabins were empty. It looks like there are only 5 of us left in the camp. I limped along with that pipe of mine. It appeared to be so lightweight at first, but after carrying it for some time I've learned that one can get worn out, even carrying a bag of feathers. Where on earth is everyone? Alyssa appeared to be more or less calm. The horror of the first minutes, when we were going from one empty cabin to another, hadn't already passed. Well, at least we can be sure that it's not the same case as whatever happened to Slavia. Why is that? Just think, where are the bodies? I said in a whisper, fearful of scaring her. But where is everyone then? Disappeared? Hardly a credible explanation. But if you think about it, nothing whatsoever that's happened during the last 24 hours has been credible. They couldn't just go and just like that. It's not like anything is up to us now, and in any case, tomorrow is still another day. I tried to put on a smile. Let's rejoin the others. Yeah, agreed Alyssa with a hint of indecisiveness. We'd only taken a few steps when a rustle in the bushes came from behind. I instantly turned around and peered towards the source of sound. Alyssa clung to my hand so hard it hurt, and I tightened my grip on the pipe. Who's there? No idea. I strained my eyes but still couldn't make out anything in the darkness. Hey! I had no idea what to do next. The rustling suddenly cut off, and the night returned to just the usual cricket fiddling. Could it be some wild animal? I wondered with a feeling of insecurity. Wild animal? She gripped my hand even tighter. But there are no wild animals around here. A squirrel, for example? I don't know. A squirrel? Yeah, a squirrel. Well, maybe. Shall we go? Yeah. Alright, and with that, let's end the episode. Well, this place is really weird. But, well, after actually interesting stories we have another one that is freaking interesting. And I love it. Alright, see you in the next episode. Bye.